In the heart of the Arctic night, the Yeti awakens to a polar vortex that promises only death.
The Yeti feels the cold pierce even his legendary coat. Survival begins now.
The Yeti pushes into the storm, knowing food is miles beneath the frozen ocean.
Instinct guides the Yeti. The sea holds life if he can reach it. With primal power, the Yeti begins his desperate battle against the frozen sea. The Yeti breaks through a narrow window to survival in -15°C darkness.
Patience is the Yeti's only ally against starvation in this eternal night.
A timed victory. The Yeti claims the first morsel after days of nothing. Barely enough to quiet the hunger game. The Yeti rations every calorie. The cold fights back. The Yeti must keep fighting harder.
Under the ghostly lights, the Yeti searches for shelter from the killing wind.
The Yeti carves his refuge. The snow cave is his only hope against -15°C death.
With relentless effort, the Yeti builds a fortress of snow. The Yeti creates insulation pies, trapping what little warmth his body produces.
In darkness and cold, the Yeti seeks the barest rest.
Even inside, -15°C seeps in. The Yeti battles hypothermia's silent advance. Barely sustained, the Yeti clings to life through the longest night.
Another day begins. The Yeti returns to the ice for food or death.
Whiteout engulfs the Yeti. He navigates by memory alone.
The Yeti refuses to starve. He reclaims his lifeline. Small mercy can. The Yeti secures enough for another freezing day.
The Yeti caches what little he can. Tomorrow is never guaranteed.
The cold attacks flesh. The Yeti fights to keep blood flowing. The vortex rages. The Yeti stands like an ancient glacier. Night returns. The Yeti must survive another -15°C Arctic hell.
Rest is survival term. The Yeti enters a low metabolism state.
The Yeti rises again. Hunger and cold are his only companions.
The Yeti seeks fresh hunting grounds. The old hole is exhausted. The Yeti adapts. Bigger hole, bigger hope. A worth prize. The Yeti feels strength returning. Fuel for the fight. The Yeti regains power from the deep. The Yeti fortifies. The storm is far from over. The Yeti endures. Every hour is a victory. Barely enough, Naui. The Yeti survives another night on scraps. A faint reprieve. The Yeti seizes the moment to hunt more. The Yeti works relentlessly. He will not let the cold win. Under the northern lights, the Yeti feels the storm's grip weakening. The Yeti prepares for the final nights. Victory is close.
Rest finally comes. The Yeti recovers from endless struggle. The vortex breaks. The Yeti senses the end of the freeze.
Final reward. The Yeti claims a feast. The Yeti feasts. Winter's debt is paid. The Yeti leaves the ice behind, and the ordeal is over. The Yeti sheds the cold fem, renewed and unbreakable. A cry of victory echoes across the Arctic. From starvation to survival, the Yeti prevails.
The legend walks on. The Yeti returns to mystery. The Yeti's refuge stands silent, a gleam, a testament to primal endurance. The vortex strikes hardest. The Yeti becomes a living anchor against the storm's rage. Guided by northern lights, the Yeti seeks fresh hunting grounds in endless night. The Yeti attacks the ice with unyielding force. Hunger demands he break through.
Frozen time stands still. The Yeti waits for the sea to surrender its bounty.
Another small life claimed. The Yeti fights starvation, one catch at a time. The Yeti consumes quickly, Vine. Every bite is fuel against the killing cold. The Yeti plans for tomorrow. Survival requires ruthless foresight.
Blinded by snow, the Yeti follows instinct home through the Arctic void.
The Yeti battles the cold's infiltration. Every layer counts. Even the Yeti feels the deep freeze. He fights hypothermia with every heartbeat. Barely enough to sustain Dine. The Yeti rations life itself.
Another cycle begins. The Yeti rises to face the same frozen hell. The ice resists. The Yeti refuses to yield.
A rare double catch. The Yeti gains ground against starvation.
Fuel returns. The Yeti feels power returning to his limbs.
The cold claims flesh. The Yeti fights to save his hands.
The storm tries to break the Yeti. He refuses to fall. A momentary reprieve. The Yeti catches his breath.
Darkness returns here. The Yeti must survive another minus 15 degrees Celsius eternity.
Experience refines the Yeti. His shelter evolves with each night.
The Yeti enters survival trance, minimizing heat loss.
Bare sustenance Depian. The Yeti clings to life through minimal means.
The Yeti awakens renewed Rund. The fight continues.
Desperation drives the Yeti. He risks greater distance for better reward. The Yeti dances with death. One wrong step ends everything.
The Yeti creates opportunity. He will not starve. A true prize.
The Yeti feasts. Strength surges after days of scarcity.
Hope flickers. The Yeti senses the vortex weakening. Beneath the aurora, the Yeti stands as unbreakable legend.
The Yeti prepares. He knows the worst may still come.
Rest deepens. The Yeti recovers from the brink. The polar night softens veer. The Yeti feels change coming. The Yeti hunts with renewed power.
Abundance arrives. Standing, the Yeti gathers more than enough.
The Yeti satisfies hunger fully. The famine ends.
The Yeti senses the vortex breaking. Dawn approaches. The Yeti fortifies one last night. Victory is near.
Peace finally finds the Yeti. The long ordeal eases.
The extreme cold retreats around. The Yeti has outlasted the worst. Great cat. The Yeti secure abundance. The Yeti triumphs, Batcha. No more barely surviving.
The Yeti leaves the ice plain. The midnight hunt concludes.
The Yeti sheds the polar nightmare. Renewed, and victory echoes the beyond. The Yeti declares mastery over the frozen dark.
From starvation to survival,
Anya, the Yeti endures eternal.
The legend fades back into mystery war. The Yeti returns to the wild. The Yeti's refuge stands silent, monument to unbreakable will.
In the heart of the Arctic, the Yeti survives. Levi, timeless, primal, alive.
After endless nights of war, the Yeti feels the first faint mercy of the retreating cold.
The Yeti senses the change. The polar vortex grip is finally weakening.
The Yeti moves with purpose, Ray. He knows this may be his last desperate hunt. The sea yields more easily now. A kingly prize. The Yeti claims abundance from the depths at last. No rationing, no fear. The Yeti finally eats like the legend he is.
the Yeti harvests generously. The long famine is broken forever. Strength returns fully. The Yeti walks taller under a brightening sky. The Yeti returns to his frozen sanctuary, Avos, a place of suffering turned to triumph. The Yeti dines in the refuge where he once barely clung to life.
Light pours in. The Yeti opens his prison to the returning world.
The Yeti basks, feeling heat he thought was lost forever.
The Arctic awakens. The Yeti witnesses life returning to the frozen waste.
New food appears. The Yeti no longer depends only on the deep. Life returns in numbers, Tantra. The Yeti is no longer the only living thing.
The polar night ends. The Yeti stands victorious beneath the first true sunrise. A cry of survival and triumph. The Yeti tears down his winter fortress. Freedom has arrived.
With each falling block, the Yeti says farewell to the cold that tried to claim him.
The Yeti leaves his refuge behind. A chapter of suffering closed forever.
The Yeti journeys onward, cornered, drawn to lands where winter finally loosens. Spring whispers from below. The Yeti walks toward renewal.
Fresh water flows freely. The Yeti tastes life beyond ice and desperation.
The Yeti sheds the polar nightmare, reborn in the returning light. The Yeti rests, no longer fighting, simply existing in peace.
In silence, the Yeti reflects on the nights that tested his very soul.
The world below revives. The Yeti walks into abundance once more.
The Arctic breathes again. The Yeti knows his ordeal is truly finished.
From the brink of starvation, the Yeti rises into a reborn world. The eternal freeze recedes. The Yeti steps into a gentler realm.
No more scraps. The Yeti thrives in the awakening land.
The Yeti honors the place that nearly broke him, Meng, and the place he conquered.
No words are needed. The Yeti's survival is etched into the ice forever. Mystery calls once more, when the Yeti slips back.
The legend moves on, timeless, unbreakable, eternal.
Even his tracks vanish, Vanyun, yet the story remains. The Yeti's refuge lies in ruins, Krimle, a silent monument to primal endurance.
The midnight hunt is over. The Yeti's victory echoes in the silence.
From minus 15 degrees Celsius death to the warmth of life, again, the Yeti has prevailed.
One last cry of triumph then silence, then peace. Where the Yeti walked, mystery lingers. Linguna, a tale older than the ice.
The survivor moves on, hollow, carrying winter's strength into spring.
One with the frozen North Dale, the Yeti becomes eternal legend.
Life triumphs where the Yeti fought comes in. Spring follows the survivor.
The sound of victory lingers, then silence, then new beginnings.
The Yeti has gone, but his story remains carved in ice and legend.
Even the last ice surrenders. The Yeti's winter is finished.
In every frozen plain and every thawing valley, the Yeti lives on. The midnight hunter, the survivor, the legend stack, forever walking the roof of the world.
The Yeti's Arctic survival is complete. The legend continues in the hearts of those who believe.